What is it about the ocean that can calm us one moment and then excite us the next? Is it our connection? Is it the sound? Why are we so swayed by its charisma? It comes down to one word: tone. And much like the ocean, a host is the one to set the tone of a show. Comedians, actors, and musicians have all stepped into the role, but much like any art form, there's a craft to hosting. It's time to pull back the curtain and put our host center stage. The lights are up, the mic is hot, it's time to set the tone. Welcome to Set the Tone. I'm your host, Aaron Smalls, and I've had the privilege of hosting hundreds of live events and TV shows across the world. And a couple of questions that I get asked pretty often are, how'd you get this job? Or how can I do what you're doing? And well, I never really have an answer for it. So I decided to call some friends who have made a successful career in the industry as hosts, and we're gonna take a look at their journey and find out how their talent, energy, and charisma shapes events. How does someone go from being a chipmunk, a costumed character at a theme park, to one of the most sought-after audience warm-up hosts in the country? Well, we're going to talk to someone who's done exactly that. Let's go find out how. Here to set the tone, I'm honored to introduce my friend, ladies and gentlemen, Rubin. What's up, man? What's going on, Rubin?
What's up, man? Oh, this is exciting, man. Thank you for letting me do this. I appreciate you letting me go on.
I'm so excited to be getting this thing kicked off. I mean, we've known each other for quite a long time.
Let's not talk about it. I feel old.
Yeah, man, it's been a minute. And I know a lot of people that are going to be tuning in, they're going to be watching. Their first question is going to be what's going on in the room, your outfit, your hat. So just fill them in so they can focus on what we're saying.
So first of all, this is my fortress of solitude. This is my little man cave that I have here for. It's really my wife's way of storing all of my stuff in one room.
You say fortress of solitude, but I feel like we've reworded that into fortress of nerditude.
It is the nerditude. I have every nerd gadget and toy in this room. But yeah, this is my little room of all my stuff. My outfit. This is my usual wear, brother. This is what I typically am in if I'm on stage somewhere, especially if I'm the host. You're gonna see me in a loud suit. You know why? I like you to know that I'm gonna be loud. As soon as you see my jacket, you know I'm gonna be different. So that's what I tend to do. So I was giving you guys a moose boosh of what I do on a daily basis.
I love that. A chipmunk. You were a chipmunk or a character? Take me back to the beginning. How this all kind of started.
My actual acting and performing career started way back in Nickelodeon days. I was a background performer on a lot of the TV shows. 15, Clarissa Explains It All. I did some Double Dare stuff, I was part of a Nickelodeon pool of talent for a while. And then as you grow up, that kind of drops off. And so sticking with the performing background, I started working for a company that is controlled by a mouse. And I was a fur character. So, I had this gigantic personality, but I really couldn't talk. I'm just hugging. You know what, though? It was the best thing that I could have ever done. I've used that to this day. I haven't been anything like that in a couple of decades, but still, to this day, I draw from that experience.
So flash forward, you talk about to this day. What are you doing now? What's going on in your world now?
So I am a TV warm-up host. That's my main gig. I'm also the announcer for a show called Family Feud. I've been doing warm-up now for more than a decade. Basically, any show on TV that has a studio audience has somebody like me. I go out before things get kicked off, and I play games and tell jokes and keep people energized throughout a long day. You and I have done the same thing. I'm actually really thankful for you because you have been my backup plan on many a gig, and I appreciate you. You can't trust a lot of people in this industry to bring the same kind of energy. You want to, when you have a client or you have someone you want work for, you want to keep that tone. And I've been very, very grateful that I have you in my life. But yeah, man, love what I do for a living. I love what I do.
Rubin, it's so great that you love doing what you do. Now, you've told me a lot of crazy stories that have happened on set, but I remember one in particular where you told me that there were fire trucks or an ambulance or paramedics or something like that showed up on set because someone got hurt or something? Can you tell us a little bit about what happened there?
So I was doing a game show that will not be named, and one of the contestants, part of the contestant team, fell and she hurt herself pretty significantly. And now remember, we're in a room with about 300 guests who are sitting there waiting to watch the show and when people win money and all that great stuff. And so this young lady hurt herself, and it is my job to distract from that, to bring the energy back into the room, and then at the same time help that next contestant win this money. Because again, show must go on.
So Rubin, you have talked us through what happened that day, but right now I'm going to challenge you to actually demonstrate what you did on that day. So Rubin, right now it's time for you to set the tone.
All right, folks, so what just happened is not great. That's the bad news. The good news is everything's going to be all right. Not only this young lady going to get the care that she needs, she's already let us know that she's fine. We have a gentleman over here that is trying to get out of here with a whole lot of money. Now, they're family members, and of course they love each other, but they decided they're going to go forward. So now I need your help. I know this is a crazy scenario, but now I need all the energy that you guys have had the entire day to muster up for the next 30 minutes. For the next 30 minutes, I need all the good energy that you guys have in your bodies to help this man get out of here with a whole lot of money. Folks, are you guys ready to do this with me? Can we do this today? That's what I'm talking about, all right? I want everybody up on your feet, stretch those arms up nice and high, shake those hands out, keep that energy alive, because we're going to do it. Let me hear you say money. Let me hear you say money. That's right, folks. Here we go. And I did that for about 45 minutes.
Oh, man. So 45 minutes of doing that to kind of switch the energy up. So what was going through your mind? How did you transition from one piece to the next?
Well, first thing I want to say is it was ingenious that you called this show Set the Tone, because that's exactly what I was doing. In the beginning of my warm-up, they don't know who I am. As a warm-up guy, I am the DVD extra. They're there to watch a gigantic show. So I have to show up, and I have to have a room full of people endear themselves to me, or me to them. And I got to make that happen within the first 3 minutes of introducing myself. I need to come with such energy, and I need to come with such command of the room that they're willing to ride with me no matter what. No matter if the next scene we're supposed to do is going to be very, very somber. No matter if the next scene we're going to do, they're going to have to be standing up for the next hour. It doesn't matter. And so that was the skill that I was relying on. I already set the tone earlier in my performance by letting these folks know, hey, listen, not only am I the fun guy, but I'm also going to be the guy, I am your tour guide through this entire experience. So allow me to keep that energy up for you the entire time. Whatever form of energy I need from you, I'm going to do that. So when this young lady fell, she hurt herself. I'd already established myself as the alpha voice in the room. And so I was able to transfer that energy and turn a negative situation into a very much positive situation. And spoiler alert, that guy didn't get out of there with a whole lot of money.
He didn't, or he did?
He absolutely did. He got out of there with a whole lot of money. Yeah.
Essentially what you did there is you changed the focus of the energy.
Absolutely.
Because the energy, what would you say the energy and the mood was like when that person fell and hurt themselves?
Imagine you're driving by a car wreck. Just like everybody does, you slow down and you start to rubberneck towards that car wreck. So instead of this gigantic car wreck that's happening over here, I'm going to be the waving, flappy arm guy on the other side, giving you even a bigger distraction. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm giving you an even bigger distraction. Because, although we as humans are sometimes drawn towards the negative, we respond better to the positive. And so I was doing everything within my power to be the positive energy to draw their attention back towards a good situation rather than concentrate on the negative.
And as a host, being able to change the focus, how important is that as a skill? Have you had to do that in other situations? Why is that important to be able to change that focus?
Being able to change the focus is the most important skill you can have as a host of anything, because number one, if somebody's already entrusted you enough to put a microphone in your hand and say, hey, you're in front of this crowd, whether it be a crowd of thousands or just you sitting in a TV studio, you're still being paid to create that energy, create that focus. And so if you're not able to switch it up, think about the newscasters you see on TV. They have the ability to go from a very, very negative story, death and murder and all the things that come to it, and within the same breath talk about fluffy bunnies. You have to have that skill, because if not, the audience no longer trusts you. And if they don't trust you, they're not going to do a dang thing you say. They're not going to listen to your words. They're not going to follow your commands. And they're not going to be entertained by you. And that's what we're here for, right? We're here to entertain these people. And if you don't have the ability to change that focus to a more entertaining avenue, you're lost.
Absolutely. Well, Rubin, man, thank you for showing us a little example of what you do and being able to highlight a very important skill in hosting, and that is how to change the focus of the energy. And that really is critical, like you said, with that trust and being able to do that. And a lot of different hosts and broadcasters do that. Now that you've shown us a little bit about what you do, let's go ahead and find out a little bit more about you. Rubin, I need to know, is that your real name or is that a stage name?
My name is Rubin.
So you go by Rubin. You don't have a stage name. That's just what you go by.
Just Rubin. Just whatever. I just need the check to be right. So just Rubin.
As long as the check is written out with the right name, you're good to go. And Rubin, where are you originally from?
I'm an Air Force brat. If you want to nail me down to where I'm actually from, then I have to say Florida.
So did you go from Florida to LA?
My route was Orlando, Chicago, Atlanta, LA, and I was kind of making, and New York, and that was my little circuit for that's been my circuit actually for pretty much a few years.
Okay, and what kind of shows are you hosting now?
I do a lot, but I'll give you the nutshell. I do a show for Anthony Anderson. I do Kelly Clarkson's talk show, Family Feud, and all the things that do with that. I'm the announcer for Family Feud. I am the host of the Family Feud live tour.
Are you Jamaican?
No, I'm a hustler. I'm a hustler, brother. I said before, my father was in the military. My father was Chief Master Sergeant in the Air Force. In fact, my father is in the Air Force. My sister's in the Army, and my brother's a Marine. And I went the entertainment route, and the industry has been very, very good to me.
Since you essentially came from Florida, is that where you got into hosting?
Yes. Early on, like I said before, I was an actor for Nickelodeon. I worked at Universal Studios as well as Disney, performing. And then I linked up with a DJ company, and that kind of exploded my career a little bit because it gave me the skill of not only being able to DJ, which I've used in a lot of aspects of my performing life now. It also gave me the real-life experience of hosting live events and the ridiculousness that comes with it, because you just don't know what's going to happen. So I was already good at improv, but being a host and improving was a whole different skill. And being an MC for shows actually helped me develop that.
I've been saying this word host a lot. How would you define a host?
We've talked about this many times, and that's a very tough definition because it is such a wide range of definitions depending on what you do. But for what I specifically do, I take host as the focal point of the event. I take it as the through point to getting the information out there, and in my case, in a fun, interactive way. It's a tough answer, but I'm going to say someone who's the ability to maintain being the focal point for long periods of time in an energetic and entertaining way.
It makes sense. That's definitely a good definition of it. So why do people trust you to do what you're doing?
It's very easy, man. I follow the number one rule.
And what's the number one rule?
Number one rule is it ain't about you. And you got to say it just that way. You can't say it isn't about you. That doesn't give you the right tone. It ain't about you.
It ain't about you.
You gotta say it with a little bit of southern drawl. It ain't about
It ain't about you. All right, I'll work on it. I'm curious because I know with my path, I didn't necessarily choose hosting. Did you choose to be a host? Did you want to be a host?
Since I was a kid, I've always wanted to be the guy on the microphone. I did not know what that meant, though. Early on, I saw a show called Nick Arcade, and it was the first time I'd ever seen a black game show host. And I lucked out. I got to be on the show, and I was enamored with this man. I was enamored. I wanted to be him so bad. And, yeah, the good Lord said that it was okay. And so here we are.
That makes sense, And so you talked about seeing this host on TV. Did you have any, as you got into it, did you have any mentors that kind of guided you and helped you craft your skill as a host?
Number one is a gentleman named Bob Brandenburg. He was a show director for Nickelodeon. He is responsible for a lot of hosts. He's responsible for a lot of people being on microphones. He has everybody has a talent. One of his biggest is finding people that can talk on mics and then cultivating that talent into something that is marketable. And you and I both met him working through Nickelodeon, and he really boosted my career. Moving forward, Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey showed me that not only can you be hard work and funny, there was a different skill to it that I didn't know about. You know what I mean? I'm not a stand-up comedian like he is, but there are skills that I've created. I thought I was quick. I thought I was the fastest gun in the West. I thought my wit was quicker than anybody else's until I stood 10 feet from this man and just watch him rip for 30 minutes.
You mentioned Bob. I know that we used to have a lot of Bob-isms that he would say. Does Steve have any Steve Harvey-isms? I guess that's what I would call it.
Most of his isms come from his motivational speaking, but I've learned, like, power standing from him. I've learned this move. That if you ever see a host standing like this with their hands in that triangle move in front, that's a power move right there. You know what I mean? And he taught me another aspect of hustling. Part of hustling that even my father didn't teach me, where he said, the dream is free, the hustle is sold separately. And that was another layer on top of already my hard work ethic. And, yeah. And, you know what? I'm going to give Kelly Clarkson a nod, too, because she taught me that you can be vulnerable in this industry, and it's okay. She taught me, look, it's okay to be a human. It's okay to be yourself, and you don't have to apologize for being yourself. And I thoroughly enjoy that.
Is there anything you can identify as a difference between a good host and a great host?
A great host has the ability to change the room, and that is the key. There are people who are performative, and they have the ability to walk out in front of that stage and perform well with the cameras on. They have the ability to read a script. They have the ability to do a lot of things, but they can't adapt to change. And if you cannot adapt to change, especially in a live setting, you can be good, but you won't be great.
Is there a moment before you get on the stage that you get nervous or scared?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. All the time. All the time. I got to give a shout out to my wife for this one. So I honestly would not be in this industry as successful as it is without my girl, because I wasn't even going to go to that audition for Family Feud, and she kind of pushed me towards it. And when I have bigger gigs, when I'm about to go out on stage and there's tens of thousands of people at Miss Universe, that's daunting. You know what I mean? I don't know who the hell I am. And so I call her up. I don't care what country I'm in or what state I'm in or what time zone I'm in. She'll pick up. She's got a speech ready for me. She's got a speech. She's going to tell me I don't suck. And she's going to tell me what's my name. I'm going to say King Rubin. And I'm going to go out on that stage and I'm going to give it to him. Now, you'll never catch me slipping. But, yeah, sometimes backstage, yeah, man. And if you don't, if you're not nervous, then you're no longer respecting the game anymore. You should be nervous. Respect the audience. Respect the crowd. Respect what you're doing.
I asked the question, has your ego ever gotten in the way of booking a job or performing?
Early on, yes. I got to take this back to my wife again. So early in my career, we're newlyweds, and we were having a conversation. I was getting just very frustrated because I wasn't getting the things that I wanted. And she sat me down one day. She goes, "Baby, you're funny." I said, "Thank you, baby." She goes, "But you're an a-hole." I said, "What?" She said, you're so much of an a-hole that no one can see past that part of you to get to the funny. And I go, what? I'm not trying. She goes, I know you're not trying to be, but you are so sarcastic and so quick-witted that if you don't control that, people think some kind of way about you. And that was a defining moment for me, man. My whole personality shifted. my whole everything shifted after that. And I was like, I have to do better at promoting myself 24 hours a day to people. I have to be better at showing the best part of myself 24 hours a day. And I work to do that.
You've made a successful career out of this. For anyone that's watching and maybe wants to get into it, or now that they've heard about it, they're like, wow, that's really fascinating. What's something that you would tell them about how to get into the industry or what to do?
First things first, and I have to steal a Harveyism, and that is make sure this is what you're gifted to do. A lot of people want to do this, but this is not necessarily their gift, and that's okay. I'm not a gifted basketball player. I'm not a gifted football player. I'm damn sure I'm not a gifted singer, but I'm good on a microphone. I'm good at entertaining folks, and this is what my gift is.
You mentioned gift that you don't know. They have to know if it's their gift. What do you mean by gift?
Your gift is the thing that you do the best with the least amount of effort, right? Mine is talking. I can talk all day long. I can sit in front of a studio audience or a wedding or a bar mitzvah or whatever the case may be. And I can talk my draws off for hours if you need me to, and I'll keep you entertained, right? But, you know, a lot of people are passionate about this. They want to, you know, we live in an industry, we live in a world right now where anybody with a camera thinks they're a star, okay? You have the potential to be a star. That thing is out there, right? But at the same time, just because you're getting likes doesn't translate to dollars, okay? You can have 10,000 followers or 100,000 followers on Instagram, but if Instagram turns off tomorrow, where's your career? So you have to identify the fact that this is honest to God what you're gifted at. Know that this is what's in you. This is effortless to me. Now, don't get me wrong, I practice and I perform to sharpen the tool. You have to sharpen the tool, but being able to be in front of a crowd and talking, effortless to me. I don't that's what I do, you know? And, but a lot of people want to have that, but that's just not what they do. And that's okay. It's okay. I knew when they told my parents I was going to be 5'4", I probably am not going to the NBA. Even if I could dribble my behind off all day long, ain't no way I'm going to go up against anybody in the NBA. And I got asthma. None of those things are telling me basketball star, okay? So identify that and keep it pushing.
Rubin, man, you have definitely shared your gift with us, and I thank you for that. We've learned so much more about you and about the entertainment industry, specifically about hosting. But now I want to put your industry knowledge to the test in a trivia game I like to call Are You Sure? I'm going to ask you an industry-related trivia question, something about hosting. Once I ask you the question, you will give your answer. I will then ask you, are you sure? And to lock in your answer, you'll say your answer and I'm sure. Then we're going to find out if you were correct or if you were incorrect. And that's how the game works. So, Rubin, are you ready to play?
I'm ready to play.
Here we go, Rubin. Your question is, Richard Dawson was the first host of Family Feud when the show started back in 1976. And right now, Steve Harvey is the current host of Family Feud. He started in 2010. How many hosts have there been altogether?
I'm going. Wait, hold on.
Oh, he's counting on his fingers.
Say 5 hosts. Final answer. Wait.
Oh, he's rethinking it. He went with 5.
Wait. So it's 6. 6 hosts. I'm gonna say 6 hosts. Final. I'm sure.
Okay, so 6 hosts. 6 hosts. Are you sure?
I am relatively sure.
So you've got to say 6 hosts, I'm sure, to lock it in.
All right, 6 hosts. I'm sure.
Rubin, I will let you know that in between Richard Dawson and Steve Harvey, there were 4 other hosts making 6 the correct answer.
And I don't remember their names, so I know Richard Dawson and I know Ray Combs. The reason I love Ray Combs because Ray Combs was a warm-up guy that became a host.
Yeah, you've got Richard Dawson. Then after that, you have Ray Combs. After Ray Combs, you get into Louis Anderson.
Right. And then it goes Tool Time guy.
Richard Karn.
And then white-haired dude.
John O'Hurley.
That's right. And then Steve. Yeah!
Great job, man. Got it correct with 6. I wonder how many people at home knew that. Rubin, man, I asked you the question, but we're going to flip the script right now. I'm going to pass the mic to you, and I'm going to let you play Are You Sure with me.
All right, Aaron, I'm turning the tables on you. Here we go. Chuck Barris was infamously the host of a show called The Gong Show. People don't know a lot about this, but he also created 2 other iconic shows about amore. Just name one of those shows that he created.
I think that was a hint that you gave me there when you said amore. Leads me back to my schooling, and I believe amore means love. So either the dating game or match game, those are both. Then there was also Singled Out. That was also about love. I'm going to guess match game.
Are you sure?
Match game, I'm sure.
I'm sorry, Aaron. You should have gone with your instincts. The dating game and the newlywed game are the 2 shows that Chuck Barris created. There you go.
Ben Rubin, this has been so much fun, and as we move towards the close of the show here, I want to get into 10 final questions with you. As I ask you these questions, just give me an answer or response, whatever the first thing that kind of pops in to your head. All right? What's one word that describes what you do?
Fluffing.
What's a word or phrase that describes what people think you do?
Glorified PA.
What do you most look forward to about an event?
Meeting new people.
What do you least look forward to about an event?
Low energy.
What's the most rewarding part about what you do?
That I'm living my dream.
All right, here we go. Question 6. If you couldn't do what you're doing, what would you attempt to do?
Be a chef.
What profession would you never want to do?
Anything behind a desk.
How will you know you made it?
I don't know if I ever will. I don't know if I ever will think that.
Here we go, our second to last question. 25 years from now, what would you want people to remember about your talent?
That I was always the hardest worker.
Our 10th and final question. I am a host because, or I host because, blank.
I host because it's what I've been gifted to do.
Rubin, I can't thank you enough for being on the show today. We've learned so much about hosting, and I hope we've educated people on what we do and how we've made a successful career out of doing what we do. But because you're a host as well, my friend, I'm just going to throw it to you, and you can take it away. Go ahead and set the tone for us as we close out.
Folks, please make sure you follow me at Facebook and Twitter at Rubin Ervin. Head over to Instagram and follow me at I am Rubin Ervin. Be sure to follow Be The Change USA on Facebook and Set The Tone TV on Instagram for full episodes and highlights. Folks, my name is Rubin. Thanks for watching Set The Tone.
Well, there you have it, a truly unique personality. I'm excited to share another guest journey with you on our next episode as we learn more about the craft of hosting. I'm your host, Aaron Smalls, and we'll see you next time when the lights are up, the mic is hot, and we set the tone.